Erica Acosta had tried many times to have a baby, but every time she became pregnant, something happened.
Well, I had 3 miscarriages.
After her third miscarriage, she decided to stop trying. 10 years later, Erica was hospitalized due to a severe case of the flu. While she was in the hospital, she received an unexpected surprise.
I had a really bad cold and I ended up in the hospital and they thought I had West Nile. And the doctor comes in and says I was pregnant and oh my God, I couldn't stop crying. I was crying because I couldn't believe it. After 3 miscarriages, I finally got pregnant again years later.
During her pregnancy, Erica was diagnosed with diabetes.
I was like 36 weeks. I went to see my doctor. I went to an appointment and she said, you need to go to the hospital right away. She said, the baby's heartbeat is dropping, so we need to do an emergency C-section. So I went in crying because I was like just asking God to please, not to let me lose my baby.
At 36 weeks, baby Andrea was born. When Andrea turned 1 year old, her relatives started to notice that her head was shaped a little different.
So I never noticed. My sister's the one that would tell me, her head looks weird, it looks different. And I would say, no, it doesn't, I just couldn't. It was not that I didn't accept it, I just didn't see it, until finally I started noticing how her forehead started looking and everything.
Right after Andrea's third birthday, she started to complain about severe headaches and vision problems.
She needed glasses, they told me, so I took her to the eye doctor.
Erica met Dr. Violeta Radinovich, a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Well, the baby was not tracking well, and it looked like her eyes were not aligned well. And we call that strabismus, misalignment of the eyes. But at the exam, the eyes had good alignment, but the problem was that the skull was closing too prematurely. The sutures were prematurely closing, and the shape of the orbit, the bone around the eyes, was abnormal.
Andrea was referred to Dr. David Yates, a pediatric cranial and facial surgeon at El Paso Children's Hospital.
So there was concern that there was actually pressure being placed on her brain that could result in blindness and possibly even death. So she immediately referred her to me because she was concerned that some of the sutures in her skull were not growing appropriately and that they were fused prematurely.
Andrea was diagnosed with craniosynostosis. Every day in the U.S., approximately 175 infants are born with this condition.
This is her skull that's printed on a 3D model. And on our CT scan, we found basically this suture right here was completely fused, which is what created this large forehead and this unusual head shape. And she was 4. Usually these children present with their babies.
He only gave me 2 options. It was either she was gonna die on me or she was gonna be blind. So I didn't have a choice. I had to do it for her. Yeah, it was very scary for me. My mom was with me through the whole thing. We both started crying. She was trying to calm me down and tell me that everything was gonna be good, to leave everything in God's hands, and that's exactly what I did.
And we basically were able to reshape the anterior portion of her skull, and everywhere you see these pink lines is kind of where we do a virtual surgical planning, so we know exactly where to cut on the skull. So we then go in and with our neurosurgery colleagues, which Dr. Trier is our craniofacial neurosurgeon on our team, we make cuts through the skull and we take off the skull. And then my part is coming in and reshaping the skull.
We used to send most of these children to Dallas, to the craniofacial clinic there. And the social issues were very high because a lot of these patients did not have money to be, moving from one town to another for lodging, for food. And besides that, they have to have a special insurance to address all these problems.
Yes, El Paso Children's Hospital is the only hospital between Phoenix and San Antonio that has national certification for a craniofacial team. and have an organized team full of not just me, the craniofacial surgeon, but a neurosurgeon, a speech and language pathologist, occupational therapist, nutritionist, craniofacial orthodontist, pediatric dentist, and really just an entire team of people who are able to treat these patients. I think it's really important for everyone in the community to understand that by supporting El Paso Children's Hospital, you are supporting your hospital. It's our hospital. It's everyone in the El Paso, Juarez, and really 400 miles in every direction hospital. This is the children's hospital that is taking care of kids at the most acute and critical level in our entire region. And it's a really important resource for El Paso, and I am so excited to be just a small part of it. And Andrea, she's gonna do great. So, she's growing up, she's in school, she's doing everything that she should be doing, and I'm really, really excited about her future. So.